Hi everyone, welcome back to another week of ABA with Vic. Now before we begin, I want to thank you very much for coming in every week and watching every episode of ABA with Vic. So before we begin, go ahead and click the subscribe button so that every week you get more videos of ABA with Vic. This week's topic is structured teaching. Now structured teaching are strategies to support students with autism. Structured teaching is a system for organizing environments, as well as develop appropriate behaviors and help people with autism understand what is expected of them. There are three primary components for structured teaching. The first one is the physical structure, the second one is the visual schedules, and then the last one, but most important, is the teaching methods. Now for this week, we're going to be focusing on the physical structure. The physical structure of the classroom or the environment is highly important. When working with individuals with autism, it is important to start making environmental arrangements. Environmental arrangements is basically what it is, environmental rearrangements. Environmental arrangement can be done in any type of environment. Physical structure refers to the manner in which we set up or organize. It also focuses on how and where we place furniture and materials. These various environments include the classroom, house, bedroom, living room, workplace, and more. As you work with individuals with autism, it is important to talk to your team about how to address certain behaviors and how to address different teaching methods. When organizing your environment, what you want to keep in mind is to make your materials accessible and then also keep your environment simple. In a classroom setting, what you want to do is have things very organized. If you have an environment who is very cluttered or very busy, it could potentially cause anxiety in a student with autism. Making these environmental arrangements is actually a very proactive strategy. One thing you want to do is keep things very simple with minimal distractions. In a classroom setting, if you want your students to go to different tables or group tables, you want to have the tables ready to go for the students to learn. One of the things that you could do with environmental arrangements, it's already set up your materials and any other materials that is going to help support your students' education. This way you spend more time working with the individual and teaching them new skills rather than spending more time looking for the materials and then working with the kid. Anything that is setting up the environment is environmental arrangements. You can organize your classroom to be more adequate for certain situations. For the classroom setting, if you have an individual who likes to elope outside of the classroom, what you want to do is come up with a proactive strategy. For this case, you can have the individual sit towards the end of the classroom so that in any case that the student tries to elope from the classroom, you could immediately block for their safety. Another example for the classroom setting or the home setting, if you have an individual who is very aggressive and likes to throw things when tantruming, another proactive strategy that you could do is limit the items that surround the student. What you want to do is clear out potential hazard materials that could cause harm to others. You can move around or limit the content of computers, chairs, tables, any types of decorations that could potentially hurt the individual and hurt you. By doing these environmental arrangements, you could protect the student or the individual as well as protect yourself. And as parents, you could also create safe zones at home. By doing so, if you have a child with aggressive behaviors when tantruming, you could send the student to go to the safe zone so that they could calm down and de-escalate. By having the student calm down, you could ensure their safety as well as your safety. Another example is if you have a student who has anxiety attacks throughout the day, what you want to have is a safe zone. Now, a safe zone could be a location where there's minimal distractions so that the student can go to this location and actually calm down. When working in classroom, what I have seen is sometimes teachers would have either bean bags or couches so that the student with anxiety attacks could access them and help them with the anxiety attack. When organizing your environment, what you want to limit is the distractions. By limiting the distractions, you can have the student be more focused when you're working with them. An example of design and layout for environmental arrangements is color coding. Let's say that in the course of the student's day, you want to have the student to go to a red table and a blue table. What you want to do for these workstations, you want to have some type of color coding in the table. By doing so, the student is able to distinguish which table he or she is going to go. The way you could do this is maybe have green chairs around the table. Another way that you could do this is have blue or green paper around the table so the student knows that this table is blue or green table. So for this week, we went over structured teaching, but focus on physical structure and the environmental arrangements. We went over how by making these small changes in the environment, you are able to help keep the student safe and diminish aggressive behaviors. We also went over that by limiting the distractions, you can have the students be more focused when you're working with them. One thing that you want to keep in mind is to be very proactive when making these environmental changes. You also don't want to change the environment too drastic that it throws off the student. There's been times that I witnessed a student be so adapted to their environment, when something is changed, they have new behaviors. One thing that you could do with environmental arrangements is to start at the beginning of the school year in a school setting, so that the student comes in at the beginning of the school year and already becomes accustomed to the environmental arrangements that already exist. If you try to arrange the whole furniture in the whole classroom in mid-semester, they might be too distracted and they might have behaviors or tantrums. And you also want to prevent those. So this week we focus on environmental arrangements, and then next week we're going to be focused on visual structures. As always, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment down below so that I can read your comments and then come up with another video. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, you can email me at ABAwithVic@gmail.com, and also you can tweet me at ABAwithVic. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, thank you for watching.